Today we'll be making sauerkraut, and this is going to be a beginner's class on lacto-fermented cabbage where you will learn the do's and don'ts and how you can get started with practically no special and expensive equipment. Hi, I'm Shrikant Singh and welcome to our channel Happy Bellyfish. Now there can be many reasons why you might want to include sauerkraut in your daily food intake. You must have heard that it is a rich source of probiotics that promote healthy gut bacteria and aids in digestion. That sauerkraut also contains enzymes that help your body absorb nutrients much more easily. And all these great things that you will hear about sauerkraut will make you just want to go and buy one from the store. But most often, the packaged sauerkraut are pasteurized and nutritionally poor, and personally I have found that the taste is not as good as the ones that you make yourself. Lacto-ferments of vegetables, fruits and berries are incredibly easy. Yes, cabbage is not the only thing that you can lacto-ferment, but we will stick to cabbage for today. The basic process is to weigh the ingredient, add 2% salt by weight, and then just wait for it to ferment for a few days. How many days? That will depend on the texture and the sourness that you desire from the ferment. And to demonstrate, I'm going to use roughly 1 kilogram of shredded cabbage, a few carrots, just 3 or 4 medium-sized carrots would do, and about 20 grams of salt. Remember the 2% by weight rule. Now rinse the cabbage and remove the outer leaves. Don't discard these leaves. We will be needing them later and I'll show you how. Now cut the cabbage into two and remove the core or the stem. The core is much harder than the leaves. So if you decide to use them, you can either shred them fine or ferment them separately. Now shred the cabbage, and depending on the texture and the look that you want to have from the ferment, you can choose to cut them into larger chunks or into finer pieces. The finer you cut, the more juices it will release when you mix it with salt. Now peel and grate the carrots. Carrots will add some sweetness and some nice color to the ferment. The total weight of the cabbage and carrot is approximately 1 kg. Using carrot in this ferment is completely optional. If you don't want to have carrot and just want to make the simple plain old sauerkraut, you can just have cabbage in it. Add the shredded cabbage and carrots to a large mixing bowl. Add salt and knead them with your hands. Apply some pressure when you do this. Now for all those hygiene freaks, you can wear gloves if you like, but as long as you're making it for your own family, it's perfectly fine to use the brute force of your bare hands as long as they're clean. Shredding the cabbage ruptures the cell and releases the moisture from within, and adding salt draws the moisture out even more from the vegetable by a process known as osmosis. Now you don't have to remember that. You're not going to give an interview in a sauerkraut factory, but you have to know it so that you can instruct the other family members to do it properly. Behind every successful home cook, there is an army of family members who are paid in kind. When you make large amount of sauerkraut, like several bottles of it to give away as a cheap Christmas present, then you might want to use a large spatula or a masher to make your job easier. Now if you have a fermentation crock with stones that fit into them, great. But if you're a poor fermenter like me, or if you're fermenting for the first time and just want to give it a try, then use a mason jar that is clean and doesn't smell like strawberry jam from last summer. That would do. Set aside this cabbage that you have mixed with salt for some time and you will see some more juices come out. After about 30 minutes or so, add this shredded cabbage to this jar, and as you add, keep pressing it. Use a spatula or a wooden masher. It will look something like this. And if you have it, that will be one of the best things that you can use if you're fermenting regularly. I got this as a gift from my mother-in-law, who really hopes now that I'll make her sauerkraut supplies for an entire year. Everything has a price. For lacto-fermentation to take place, the species of lactic acid bacteria needs an anaerobic environment where it is deprived of oxygen. And liquid displacement is all it takes to deprive the bacteria of air. Everything is submerged under this liquid and the cabbage is not coming in contact with the air. That is what I mean to say in simple English. Now take the larger leaf that you had not thrown away, hopefully, and place it on the top and press it to submerge the cabbage under the juice further. At this stage, you might notice, or it can happen, that you feel that the juices are not enough in the jar to submerge the content completely. So if that happens, you can just add some water or prepare brine and add on the top. But do not fill the jar with sauerkraut or the liquid to the brim. Leave some space on the top for the gases that will be released as a byproduct of fermentation. So you need to remember to burp these bottles regularly. The space left on the top will hold these released gases until you burp it. If it is very warm where you stay, then burp them once or twice a day. Otherwise, use a cheesecloth and seal the jar with a rubber band. Most lacto-fermentation works with an ambient temperatures in the range of 21 degrees to 28 degrees Celsius. Higher temperature means fermentation will be faster. Typically, I leave the jar on the counter for 4 days at room temperature, and here it stays in the range of 28 to 29 degrees Celsius. And then I move this jar to a refrigerator where it ferments slowly. It slows down the fermentation process there. Fermentation crocks with weights are great, but they are an expensive investment, which you must make if fermenting cabbage is going to be a staple in your house. But I have made it like this for a very long time, and I have survived to tell the tale that it is possible. Weights and salt are an insurance policy to your fermentation against unwanted intruders. Bacteria that can cause botulism, for example, also thrives in oxygen-deprived atmosphere. But it struggles in the presence of salt or acid. So the 2% salt that you add is considered to be enough to prevent harmful bacteria from taking hold. And sauerkraut is not something that only people that grow their own cabbage make in jars which is twice their own size. You can make them in small batches, in small jars from store-bought cabbages. But you must avoid cabbages that are treated with pesticide. Rather, choose the ones that are locally grown or are an organic produce. You must also avoid cabbage that is already molding or rotting. Just these few things and you will enjoy the taste of your success. You will not be wondering that if my ferment is going to come out right or not. Now, let's make the second ferment with turmeric as an added ingredient. It adds a nice earthy aroma and a bright yellow color, and this is one of my most favorite type of sauerkraut. The process is exactly the same, but I'm going to show you so that you can understand the way I have cut the cabbage in this ferment and what the final product will look like. Here I'm going to use a mandoline to shred the cabbage. This makes the job faster and it also gives a very fine thread-like texture to the sauerkraut. You can also use food processor for this. Add the shredded cabbage to a mixing bowl. Add salt. Remember the 2% rule by weight. Now grate the fresh turmeric. I'm going to use about a tablespoon of it. Add it to the cabbage and mix it. Depending on the variety of fresh turmeric that you're using, you may get the bright yellow color from fresh turmeric itself. But if you want it to be brighter in color, then add a teaspoon of turmeric powder. And just because turmeric is a super medicinal herb, it doesn't mean that you add a ton of it to the sauerkraut. This will make the sauerkraut bitter and inedible. Once again, use your hands and knead the ingredients together for 5 minutes at least and apply some force. The more you knead, the more juices will come out. Set it aside for a few minutes while you get some hand massage. When you come back, you will notice that how much juice has come out of the cabbage. Take a clean jar and bottle it. Keep pressing it continuously to allow the air to escape. While the air escapes and you get the whiff of sauerkraut in making, and while your mouth waters, hit the like and subscribe button, and do check out our website happybellyfish.com for more simple recipes that make you drool. I've left the drool trails in the description. Turmeric is not the only spice that you can add. Each time you ferment, you can get a little more brave by adding other spices like bay leaf, dill seeds, allspice, cumin seeds or mustard seeds. As the cabbage ferments, it will transform in taste from sweet to sour. And every day when you burp the sauerkraut, you can press it a little bit with a masher so that all the gases that have been released and are stuck at the bottom can escape. If you stay in a colder place, you might have to ferment it for longer, maybe a week or 10 days or even 12 days. The only way to check your ferment is to taste it. It should maintain the essence of the original raw vegetable with the added acidity and some umami flavor. While there are also no salt sauerkrauts available, salt is an important factor in a safe and successful fermentation. The type of salt you use here is also very important. Use a non-iodized salt. Sea salt or pickling salt that you get in the market are actually your better choices. The iodine in salt can impede helpful bacteria from gaining a strong foothold in the fermentation process. It's like a Game of Thrones going on inside this jar continuously. You might want to make a no salt sauerkraut if you're on a low sodium diet. So I will leave a link in the description if you want to know more about such ferments. These jars must be kept in a dry place away from direct sunlight, but while it is outside, it must be in your sight so that you remember what's smelling in the house and remember to burp the jars. During the fermentation process, the microorganisms convert the sugar in the cabbage into carbon dioxide and organic acids, which increases the nutritional value of otherwise raw cabbage. As the cabbage ferments, the bubbling is high in the first week. Most amount of carbon dioxide is released during this time. A common worry for most people is a mold. It might appear on top of the sauerkraut in the jar. So take a spoon and just scoop it out. You do not have to discard the entire batch. And if you really want to play safe, then use a fermentation weight or even a normal ordinary clean stone that you can wrap it in a food grade plastic and place it on the top. Now these are finished sauerkraut after about 2 weeks. I had moved them into the refrigerator after about 4 or 5 days outside. They are more sour, less sweet and quite crunchy, just like the way I like them. When you open the jar, you can remove the leaf that you had used to cover the top. It is fermented as well, so you can eat it too. In countries like Germany, most commonly it is served with roasted meat, mashed or fried potatoes or sausages. But you can mix it with a savory stew for a tangy twist or serve it beside stir-fried vegetables. Let me show you what I do with sauerkraut. Firstly, you can eat them as it is, but you don't want to eat a whole lot of it. So you can use it as a side to any dish that you're serving. I add some olive oil for some aroma and some bitter and floral taste. Quite often, I also eat sauerkraut with my regular meals, such as beans and rice or any other grains. If I'm short on time, I would eat sauerkraut with just bread or any cooked grains. I also like to add them to falafel or burgers that I make at home. In my opinion, no falafel or a burger is great without pickles. And imagine what you can do with a jar of fermented cabbage. Add your favorite sauce. I'm adding this tahini sauce and it looks like a kid's school bag now that you're stuffing, but trust me, it was gone before I could even take the first bite. If you're someone who eats on the go and a wrap is the first thing that comes to your mind, then just take a roti or a flatbread or a tortilla, add plenty of greens and tomatoes, add sauerkraut and fried cheese slices, and fold it and carry anywhere you go. I've used paneer or cottage cheese, but you can use any cheese of your choice. And if you want to go vegan, just use tofu or tempeh and make it yours. Fermented cabbage is much more nutritious than raw cabbage or cooked cabbage. 1 cup of sauerkraut or roughly about 140 grams has 27 calories. So it's a low calorie food and it's loaded with folate, vitamin B6, riboflavin, thiamine and vitamin K. It provides 1/3 of the recommended intake of vitamin C and it is also rich in minerals like iron, potassium and magnesium. But despite all its goodness, it may not be the food for everyone. People with histamine intolerance or allergies or digestive disorders might need to be careful here. If you're new to eating sauerkraut or any fermented food, then start with a tablespoon and gradually increase it to about half a cup as you progress. Some people love sauerkraut and some detest the smell and the taste of it. I used to be the latter one until I started to make them myself. My journey began with just helping my wife make sauerkraut several years ago. But until I started to make them myself, I never truly appreciated it. And now it happens to be one of my most favorite foods. I hope this video will inspire you to sour the kraut out of cabbage. Check out our other videos for more simple inspirations and I will see you soon in the next video.